Okay. Tell me if you can hear me now. Please, somebody let me know, otherwise I have to go check and I'm gonna freak out. Hello, everyone. No sound still. Okay, let's see. Microphone, is there speaker? I think, okay, I can hear myself, so I think we're fine. Okay, so let me just lower the volume of the phone now. Thank you, sorry about that. Like I said, I thought I was organized and it's not helping, but you know, that's life. As always, you know, never a dull moment. So how are you? Oh, thank you. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you. As I was saying, you know, I'm just waiting for a few more to find us. And how are you? I hope you had a good week. And, you know, what have you been up to? Ready for the weekend? You know, as I was saying, a little bit of difference. Finally, you know, we're slowly coming out of lockdown here in Toronto. So hairstylists are open, and it took me almost a month to get an appointment, but it's maybe 10 pounds lighter by now, which makes me happy. And I decided not to go super short, but I got bangs. That's good. I still can grab it in a ponytail. So how are you guys? How's everything going? Like, you know, have you been checking everything? You know, did you buy stuff in the sale? Did you check the new release? What did you get? There's a lot of nice things in the new release, a lot of stuff that is perfect for card making, but is so perfect for scrapbooking. And we're going to use some of that today. And I'm going to show you some ideas. So, oh, hi, Marcy. I'm just looking down because I have my phone. I don't have you on the screen, so I have to look down. So my apologies. I have Marcy, Christine, Diane, Marianne, Debbie, Mary, Aida, Judy, Terry, and I'm not going to keep going up because then I'm going to read all your names. But hi, if you speak Spanish, hola, hola a todos, bienvenidos. So I think before we go any further, remember that if you comment, Heather will pick a winner at the end of the live, and you will win a $15 gift certificate to the shop. And there's a lot of new stuff that you might want to get with that money. And there's some also new things that are going to be coming soon. And I should have brought it out to show you just a little peek, but I forgot to, but you're going to love it. If you scrapbook especially, you're going to love it. So I think we have a few more people coming in, but I'm going to flip the camera to get started because I think you're going to enjoy this, and we're going to need some time to do some of the stenciling. So I'm just going to flip the camera. So let's get ready. And hopefully the camera is working properly because it was giving me trouble. Oh, it is. And I'm going to turn on the light just in case we need more light, but I think it should be okay. There should be no, what's his name? There should be no glare and the color's not blown out. So it should be perfect for everyone. So if you check the release this month, there is quite a bit of new products. Some of the ones that I was super excited about are the Happy Blooms collection, because now you have the stamp. You have actually also the stencils that coordinate. So that means, and then you have also the die, which means you can make your own florals, and you can have as many as you want, and you can change the colors, not just to match Happy Blooms, but any other collection or whatever you're working with. So we're going to use this. But one of the things that I loved and I asked for was the Slimline builders. There's a heart, there's a star, and there's a plaid. We're going to use the hearts because I think these are perfect for scrapbooking. They're good for like for any type of card making. These are perfect. But for scrapbooking, just because of the size, it's like a perfect way to add, to create your own pattern and to add some interest to the background. So we're going to get started. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of stenciling work today. We're going to talk about some fun things, and we're going to play with florals. So I have this photo of my children, and these are my kids, the teenagers, and the little ones are my niece and nephew, and that's my baby. He's always there. So this is a really summary photo, but if you know my work, I love black and white pictures. That's something that I enjoy. So I thought, why don't I bring a little bit of a rainbow to the background, and not in the background, but in the florals. So I'm gonna start with something very neutral for the background, just to show you how this stencil works. And then you can go run and pick up the other ones, because honestly, love, love, love. So one of the beauties of the stencil is that it actually, you can build hearts in different sizes, and that it doesn't have, it is a repetitive pattern, which means that you can extend it really easily. So let's see, I am just going to give you an idea of what we're gonna do. So this is a stencil 1, this is a stencil 2. I gotta do it the opposite way so you can see it. So see how it builds, and then you have a little one right here. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it at the bottom so it shows better. There you go. So my idea is I want to have the photo, I'm going to say pretty much at the center, and I really want to create a wave of florals that are just going to span through the page. So I'm going to start with the background. So let's get started. So one of the things about Pinkfresh Studio stencils is that they come with a number. I don't know if you, I think you can see it in the camera. And if you are a card maker, they even come with a little notch so you can fit them straight onto your cardstock. If not, in my case, I'm just gonna use the numbers. So because this builds into, like I said, it's a buildable heart, I'm gonna use the lightest color. I wanna go with something, I love Ocean Breeze, but I think this time I'm gonna use the sky blue. I wanna go with shades of blue, just because it's something that I did not add to the flowers. So I'm gonna start with sky blue. You wanna start with a light color and then build up your stencil in that way, just because, remember this, when you build it, if you go dark to light, it's not going to show the difference in color. So you want to go light to dark. So let's see. I'm going to start with, like I said, sky blue. And this one is from the Morning Sky set, if you have the mini cubes. And if you have the large ones, then again, I'm using, this is just a blending brush. And I'm going to, like I said, my picture is going to see pretty much on the center. I'm not going to mark it. So I'm just gonna eyeball it, and then we go. Remember, when you apply ink through a stencil, you wanna go clockwise and counterclockwise. So you just pick up your cube, rub your ink, your brush on the ink pad, or if you use a foam applicator, you know, the dome does the same way. Just, this is more comfortable for my hands, and I wanna go counterclockwise and clockwise on top of the stencil. I want to make sure that I don't hit the edges. So you're going to see that I'm applying the ink right on the center. And like I said, that's the beauty of having a repetitive pattern, is that I don't have to hit the edges. So you're going to see that I'm not pulling any washi tape right now. I'm just holding it with my hands. And then I'm just going to keep looking at, lightly, you know, look at the comments to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. And Terry Godinez, you speak Spanish? No. Hopefully you do. So then you understand why I sound like I have like a really bad accent, and it is. But so I'm just gonna continue working. And like I said, remember when, like I've talked before in another live, you can check, there's quite a few, is I wanna apply my background. I don't wanna cover the entire page. I just wanna have enough that is gonna peek behind the photo. So just to give an idea where the photo is gonna sit, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go pretty much from pretty much the entire length of it, and I'm gonna move it. So now that I have a reference, I'm gonna sit it again there, and then I'm going to continue the stenciling. And let me know if you can hear me properly. I'm learning on Duolingo. You know what? My kids are also taking Duolingo. Don't ask. One is learning French, because Canada we speak French. I don't. But my daughter's learning French, even though she took it like, you know, heavy in high school. And my son, he is learning Japanese. Don't ask. He watches a lot of manga and all that stuff, so he wants to learn. So here's what we're gonna do, you know, make the background bigger. So I'm just gonna kind of like, how do you call it? Just slide it a bit to the right. I do not want to create a straight box. I just want kind of something that looks a little bit broken. So you're gonna see that as I am going towards the right, I am not gonna put that much pressure on my, we call it ink blending in this case, because I wanna create that faded effect. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna kind of start my inking on the left where I have those hearts, and kind of just softly go towards the right. And that's just gonna create a soft impression. Again, I don't wanna create a complete box. I just wanna have like a broken, just like a hint on the background. So you're gonna see, just kind of softens. And then if I see it like, I don't like the boxy look, I'm just gonna move it a little bit here. And then just kind of accent some of these ones here. So I'll break that box look that the stencil has. And it's because it's designed for a slimline card. So remember, a rectangle. So you see how I'm gonna kind of break out the box a little bit. Again, I'm gonna do a little bit here. So just so that I create that. And again, I'm gonna, slide it a little bit towards the right, just to extend it a little bit here. Again, try to hit at least a row of hearts that you already have. So just it keeps it in place. Again, I'm gonna accent the ones here, but I'm slightly going to just extend the ink towards the left. So I have that, I'm gonna say kind of like a ghost impression, that distress, kind of a faint application. I don't want it to, remember, it's always nice to have less and then work it up than to have too much and don't know how to delete it or erase it. And it's hard to erase ink. So there you go. You're gonna see, I don't have a box. I kind of have kind of like a little oval shape. I might extend this a little bit more just because, like I said, remember, we're gonna create a wave of florals. So let's just extend it a little bit more to help us with the design. Again, really lightly, you just want like a little hint, and you don't even want the entire heart, just like a little, like a hint of something there. So I'm just going to lightly just give it a hint of the background. So a little bit more ink. Just here, I'm gonna pick up the hearts. Again, then just to finish, you barely gonna see these hearts. Like I can barely see them here, and I'm like, they're right in front of me, but just want that faint application. So I'm just gonna put a little bit here and we're done. So that's the first layer. Now we're gonna switch into the next one, and I'll clean the stencils after. So again, very simple. Just gonna find the center of the heart. You can do it on the side if you want to. I mean, have the hearts linked together with the smaller one. It's up to you. I wanna kind of create that little pop of blue. So I'm gonna put it right on the center. My choice is gonna go with the same, actually, with a little bit of Ocean Breeze, just because I like that teal look that he has. So I'm gonna go with Ocean Breeze. And this is more of like a tealish look that is gonna make the second heart pop. So again, I am gonna apply pressure in the center because that's where I want the heavier application of the ink. And all you have to do is just go through it clockwise, counterclockwise, get your brush, put it on. And if you're using a brush or you're using a foam applicator, same way, just dip your brush on the ink pad, go in a circular motion on top of the stencil, clockwise, counterclockwise. Remember, when you're going clockwise, you're hitting with your brush the right of the stencil. So you're gonna create a little line on the right of the heart. So to balance it, go counterclockwise, and then you have an even application. Again, I'm going heavier with the application right on the center because that's where I wanna emphasize, the color. And then I'm going to, you're gonna see in a little bit, I'm gonna try to move my stencil a bit. You see I moved it a bit there. To the right, just to extend the color. There we go. So we're gonna see, gonna center that, and then we're gonna go. So a little bit more ink, and then I'm just gonna apply it. And I'm just trying to read. Hi, Olivia. Is your first time doing a live? Oh, welcome. You know what? It's fun. Lives are fun. You'll actually, you'll enjoy them. I enjoy them. I see a lot of people, live. I enjoy it. So you see how slowly you see that little heart in the middle? Again, I'm gonna slide my stencil to the left just to create the heart on the left. Again, I'm putting, oh, wait, there's ones that are gonna be crooked here. It's okay, we call it artistic design. And then we're just gonna kind of extend the application. Again, I'm just trying to find the hearts right here. Remember this, I just want a little broken image, just the ghost image, just a little bit here. And I don't, to be honest, I don't, like, I'm not following a pattern. I'm just depositing some ink. I just want like that ghost application, the faint look of the hearts on the background. And you're gonna see, slowly you're gonna see. So heavy, light, there's just like a shadow, and that's all I want. So there we go. And now for the last one, I would suggest, if you want to add texture, just to go ahead and add some embossing paste or anything that's going to give you a texture, glitter, paste. For the sake of the video, I'm going to go with an ink, and I'm going to go with Summer Shower, which is the second color in the blue family. Again, just take a little bit of it. I'm using the same brush just because I already have the color on the background. And then I'm just going to hit. And again, I'm going to skip some of them. Not all of them are going to get the little blue heart, just a few of them. So you're going to see heavy on the center. So you have the little heart. So you have a heart within a heart within a heart. How long? If I don't respond to your questions, it's because I'm looking up here. But I've always been crafting my entire life. I did not scrapbook my entire life. I journal, which means I keep a diary and a journal since I was maybe 7 or 8. So I have lots of notebooks, and it was until my kids 2016 when I started actually scrapbooking. And then it's just my favorite thing to do in the world now, especially because I have so many stories and so many photos that are just living in my notebooks. So I'm moving them into something that my kids can take when they go away. I say that, and at the same time, I'm smiling because I know my daughter says yes, and I doubt it. But my son, I know he will take them. Don't ask me why. I know my son will take them. He's already said he will. We'll see. But so my background's done. And you're going to see it. Like I said, faint application, just want to have that ghost. I'm going to put it closer so you can see it. So you have a heart within a heart within a heart. So ready with that. You don't need much more for the background because, like I said, you just want a little hint. You don't want to overdo your background. You want what's going to go on top of it to stand out. So I'm going to set this aside for a little bit, and I'm going to show you this beauty here. So this is the Happy Blooms new set. Like I said, you get a stamp and you have the stencil, and this creates the florals in the Happy Bloom collection. And I think I have my 6x6 paper pad here. So you can create this floral right here, this pattern with the stamp set. Okay, so very fun. The beauty of that is that you can create patterns that, match your project. Doesn't have to match this collection. You can match any season. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fix my cardstock, and I'm using my grid on my mat for this. So a little bit of washi is gonna hold it in place. Yeah, remember that if you're not here on time, this is being recorded, so you can always come back and watch it later on. And there's actually quite a few. You can see Leah, and if you go on Facebook, you can see Heather. So once again, I'm gonna use the stencils. I know that a few, you can start by stamping. I always like to start with the stenciling because sometimes when you apply the ink through the stencil on top of stamps, you can cover the lines, the crisp line that the stamp creates. So my choice is to start with the stencil. And the beauty of this is that, once again, there's a little notch at the top of the stencil that gives you the number. So this is the first stencil that you have to use, and it gives you a placement for the card. So I'm just gonna match that right there. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place, just so that I can show you. And like I said, having a stencil, in this case, like this one here, is just going to give you so much opportunity to embellish your layouts if you do scrapbooking, because it's just so nice to be able to have flowers to to decorate your pages if you like them. and to like customize them is even better. So let's start with, I'm just gonna pick some colors that are easy, like recognizable. And you're gonna see that this stencil is gonna give you this flower, and the stencil at the bottom is gonna give you this flower. So the first stencil has the pink flowers here. So I'm gonna show you how I created some of mine. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of peach fuzz and ballet slipper. I'm gonna show you how I usually create my flowers. It takes some time, but I think like if you're gonna customize them, you are going to love this. So I bought these brushes just for my Pinkfresh Studio inks, and I'm actually liking them. So I'm gonna start with peach fuzz. So again, same thing that we did in the background, we're gonna work here. Pick a little bit of the ink with your brush and on a circular motion on top of the stencil. So here we go. And I just want to create like a soft shadow of the peach. Remember, this is peach fuzz on this, on the florals. I don't want to completely give it like a peach color, just like a tiny little bit of a shadow. So you're going to see that I'm going counterclockwise, clockwise until you lightly see the color on the background. And that's all I want. So I'm just going to work on layers just to create like a one of a kind color for this flower in a way. So I'm just going to do it to the top so you see the difference. Okay, so now for the other one, this is ballet slipper, which is a beautiful pink, and I'm going to use the same brush. So now I'm going to start adding a little bit more pressure, picking up some of the ink, applying more pressure, and then you're going to see the shape of the flower coming to life. Okay, so I'm going to continue working with this. And remember, flowers, when you have a flower, there are shades. When you see petals, where petals meet, there is the center of the flower usually tends to be a little bit darker just because you have more the center of the flower, or you have more petals in the center. So just keep that in mind where you're applying your ink. Know where you can apply extra pressure, or where you can, you know, add extra color. I'm going to show you. Don't worry. I'm going to show you, give you an idea what you can do with the inks. And that's why you want to look into buying a family of inks. It's just an easy way to create a nice, more lifelike flower, because you have all the inks that match and that actually transition nicely. So, you know, think about that. So I'm just going to go, remember, this one has peach fuzz and pink ballet slipper, and the one down here, I'm just going to make it straight ballet slipper so you can see the difference. Yeah. Go on a circular motion, get some of the ink on a circular motion on top of the stencil. Remember, clockwise, counterclockwise, just so you have that balance and even application. Oh, and stamps and dice. Yeah, you want to get, you know what? I think as a scrapbooker, we love the paper, but we oversee the stamps and the dies. And I think that's the best thing you can have to create a layout, because all you're going to need is good ink, and the Pinkfresh Studio inks are amazing. And you need cardstock, and you can do infinite choices and designs. So I have the base of my flowers ready. I want something soft. Remember, the inks are going to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the second color in the pink family, and this is Sparkling Rose. Just going to pick up a little bit. And I'm just going to, again, you have this as your kind of guide. So remember, where the flowers meet, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra pink. That's just going to create a little bit of shadow, just kind of emphasize the design. Center of the flower. Just think of it like, you know, you're adding some details that are just going to pop when you go into, when you actually pull up the stencil. You're going to see in a little bit. I'm just finishing, like I said, I'm just going to get a little bit of pink in some areas. And I'm going to pull up this stencil so you see it. So you see how you have the two-tone in the application? We're going to continue working, and you're going to see at the end how it all ties together. So I'm going to go now into stencil 2. Again, you have the little notches. All you have to do is put it in place. Hit the notches at the top of your cardstock, so it's the perfect placing for your stencil, and you're gonna have a crisp impression. And now we're gonna work on this part here, which is the yellow. And I'm gonna keep it yellow just to make it, you know, easier for me to and a little bit faster to explain this. And I'm gonna choose actually a little bit of sunshine. I'm not gonna go with lemon. Just going with lemon whip. So just move the inks to the side. So having them in boxes works. So I have another brush. Like I said, I bought this just for these inks. There we go. I want to see who had a great idea. Oh yeah, you can make your own floral. Yeah, you're gonna see. I did some work ahead because you know you have to when you're doing a live, but you're gonna see. So I'm just gonna start applying, and I start applying outside of the area that's open, so that a lot of the ink deposits there, and I can drag it into the stencil. So again, remember, where the flower is gonna be darker is where the petals meet. So right here, think of it right here. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of yellow there. I'm just gonna run it towards the edges. And then this is, we're gonna make it, you know, there's so much you can do with this. I mean, not just inks, you can actually also, the fact that you have an outline stamp, you can customize the colors if you like watercoloring or you like coloring with your alcohol markers, and it's great way to do your own ephemera. But I think the stencils are just an easy and quick way to just, you know, skip that step. If you're not good at coloring, then having a stencil is a great way to create your ephemera in, like I said, infinite choices. So once again, we're gonna come in with a darker color, in this case, sunshine, and I'm being messy here. And again, remember, think of the junctions of the florals where the petals are starting. So it's gonna add a little bit extra accent there just to create the little bit of a shadow, the center of the floral, a little bit on the edges, and that's it. I'm gonna lift it so you're gonna see how it's starting to take shape. So you see, second one. Oh, we're talking about hot foil. Oh, I know. Hot foil is amazing. Heather would tell you, I was like, oh, anything hot foil, I'll take. I bought the machine. As soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, I have to have it too. So once again, stencil 3, we're hitting the notches. Right away, stay in place. And I'm actually gonna use fresh pear for this. I use mint. You can, but I like the greenish tone of fresh pear. So this is fresh pear, and I'm also gonna put grassy knoll. I hope I'm saying it properly. My apologies if it doesn't sound good. And I'm gonna show you a trick with the leaves. So instead of going a circular motion, I'm gonna go from the center out, kind of sweeping the color. Okay, think of it, kind of you're sweeping the color and then you're gonna go circular motion. So first sweep out the color from the center out and then go on a circular motion. So what that creates, you know, when you see a leaf, it has the veins, it always starts in the center. That's gonna help you create that vine look of the leaves. Again, sweep your ink from the center out and then go on a circular motion. So sweep and then go on a circular motion. So the first movement is gonna create that kind of veining look and then gonna give you a darker edge closer to the flower. And then when you go on a circular motion, that's just gonna fill the leaf. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna sweep the color, literally sweep. Don't worry if it goes darker, it's okay. And then you're gonna color the leaf. Now, these are little things that when you play with inks, it just, sometimes you think, oh, how do you do that? But this is just, I was playing with the inks and I was like, oh, you know what? I wanna get that veining look. And that was one of the ideas. There we go, let's see. Sweep it and then color the. So you're gonna see when I lift it, you're gonna be able to see it better. So again, sweep first, sweep my ink, and then I color it. It's so, I'm trying to see. So again, sweep it. If you sweep from the center out, so where the leaf starts, sweep it towards the outside of the leaf and then go on a circular motion just to color the rest. you're gonna see the difference that it makes. So again, just gonna continue. I'm almost finished. And that's the beauty of it. If I had to color this with like either watercolor or, you know, my artist, which I'm not that great with the artist markers. I gotta tell you, with alcohol markers, I'm still not something that I grew up with. Watercolors is something that I enjoy, and I think I'm pretty okay with them. But my like my alcohol markers is something that I need to have more practice with. So I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna give it a little bit. I play a little bit more to make them a little bit darker, but it should be do it okay. So remember, sweep and then go in a circular motion. So sweep, the circular motion. That's gonna help you create that veining. So, and then I'm just gonna go with a darker tone, just a little bit, just at the base of the leaves. That's just gonna give you the shadow. Remember, leaves are usually behind florals, so they have a little bit of a darker tone at the base of them. So I'm just gonna apply that, and it makes a world of difference. You might think that it doesn't. Once I lift the stencil, you're gonna see. You can also sweep the same way I did before, but don't color the entire leaf. Just kind of sweep it so you get that, you get the ink just at the base of the leaf. You're gonna see when I lift it, you're gonna see the difference. So just trying to keep the ink in place here. Okay. See how you create that shadow? Just by sweeping the ink and then go in a circular motion. Very, very easy way to stencil and give it more of the, you know, of a natural look. And then the last stencil is just gonna create the branches and help you with the center of the flower. So once again, hitting up the notches. I'm just trying to see the time, make sure that we're on time. And like I said, it's gonna take a little longer to work the, you know, the details. So let's start with the centers of the flowers. I am gonna choose for the center coral reef because it's a nice tone between pink and peach. So I'm gonna hit it with, I'm gonna use my pink just lightly. And again, choose one side. I'm gonna choose to start from here. So the darker side is gonna be on this side of the center, and then I'm gonna sweep it towards the other side. So I'm kind of creating dimension on one side. So same thing. You're gonna see that one side of the center of the flower is gonna be darker. That's what you want. So again, the pink ones, maybe here, do it the opposite way. And for the yellow, we're gonna, let's see, we're almost finished. We're almost finished. So, and then for the yellow, we're gonna get a little bit of marigold. Let's see. A little bit of marigold. I have my yellow brush here. So a little bit, not too much. There we go. I think we are done with the colors. Now we're gonna go back to add the branches that were in the last step, which is the one that creates the little branches here. So I'm gonna take another brush here. Again, sweep. Okay. Load your ink, sweep, and then fill it up. And that's just gonna give you that veining that you want for your leaves. Very easy. You're gonna see, like I said, if you were to color this and you enjoy coloring, because you know, if you enjoy coloring, then go ahead and color them. But if you want to, as a scrapbooker, you want a fast way to do, like, you know, to do your flowers, then stencils are a way to go, and inks. You can certainly watercolor this. It'd be a little bit trickier, but you can use watercolor if you want to. You just gotta be careful, but there's a lot of things that you can do with stencils. So don't think that, you know, stencils, dies, and stamps are just for card makers. They're actually one of the best friends for scrapbookers. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's, you know, a great investment. You can always customize them to whatever paper you have, whatever collection. So take your chance and, you know, go and look at the Paintfresh release. If you love the Happy Blooms collection, then you're gonna love the stencils and all the stamps because they match those florals. And like I said, you can combine them and make them into any season, any look that you want to. So here we go. we are ready with the stenciling. I just want to make sure that everything is a little bit not a mess. So let me just clean up a bit before I lift up the stencil. And there we go. See how nice it looks? So now the next step and the last one, not the last step, but the last step you're gonna see for me in this one. Your stamp, it actually matches right there. And that's what the one that's gonna give you the details. So let me, of course, I forgot to bring my little, where did I put it? You see? Oh, sorry, my acrylic block was on the side. So I'm gonna do it quickly. I did it with my stamping, with my Misty in the morning because I was just doing a few in a row. But right now, for the sake of the single one, I'm going to just use my big block and then use the detailing ink. I'm using the black detail ink, and it's great. Such a great ink. So I'm gonna pray that I get it, like, you know, online and everything looks nice. And so if you see my head showing the screen, sorry. I'm just trying to line it up properly so you can see it. So there we go. Gonna apply some pressure. I think I got it. There you go. Yes, I got them. So customize again, put it on the side. I'll clean up after. So, and then you have the matching dies that actually, and I have it here, but I'm not gonna cut this because then it's gonna take longer. And you can cut them and have your flowers ready. But I worked ahead of, you know, and I have my flowers here. And that's here where I want to show you what you can create. You can make them any color that you want to have. Purples. I use a slumber for the blue, mixed it with a little bit of the purple. Here are the peachy with pink, compared with the pink. These are play pink. These are the one with the peach and the pink together. These are just a peach fuzz one. So I play with different colors just to create, like I said, a rainbow of florals. And pretty much that's what I have. There we go. I know I, you know, for the sake of this, I have to stamp with, you know, why, I'm just trying to read, why ink after you stencil? I ink after I stencil because I can show you, but when you use ink at the beginning in your florals, you can, when you add the ink and you don't let it dry completely, you can cover some of the impression, in this case, the black impression with the ink. So you lose the crispness that the outline creates. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. You can do it the opposite way. I know that I've done it in the past, is I've inked the, so I'm gonna start working on this. I've inked, I've added the stamp with, I think it's, what is the lightest gray in this, in the pink fish today? I'm trying to find them just to, like, you know, I don't wanna go out of building the layer, but just to give you an idea of what I've done before, because I have them here. I've used this Misty Coat just to apply the ink, let it dry, I have a stencil, and then I've come with the detail black on top of it so that it gives me a better idea. And that's how I realized that if you, in my case, the way I stencil, if I apply the ink first, like if I detail it first and I add the ink on top of it, I can move stuff and I lose the detail of the outlines. So it's personal choice. If you are good at like just stamping and stenciling, go ahead. It works better for me this way. And because I have the notches to help me, it works out really well. So going back to the layout, I hope that helped a little bit, you know. There we go. So we are going to build a little bit of some interest for the photo. So I'm gonna bring this, one of my favorite things, the journaling bits. Just because they have, you know, texture in them, they have some interest. So there's not much that I have to do, to be honest with you. So I really like this edge. And you guys know, I think if you've seen my lives before, that I love things that are gonna add interest. And I think this edging is gonna add interest to the photo, but I don't wanna lose that. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm actually gonna cut this part because I'll use it somewhere else. I like the happy memories. Take this. I just want to use the edge. We're gonna play with a few layers. I'm gonna bring a little bit of a six. And I really don't like. I'm not gonna be picky about what colors. I just want some papers just to create some interest on the background. So because I used all the colors that I have, that the collection has, then I'm able to pick up all the, I'm able to work like this way. So again, I love, whenever I die cut, I never die cut at an edge. I usually leave like a little space so that I can frame my photos within. I don't know if it's smart, but it works for me. And then I don't, waste paper, because I think we had this conversation before. I tend to cry when I have to cut nice paper. Like, really, like I'll probably go buy more just because I don't want to, the nice paper, you don't want to get rid of it. You save that paper that is so special for the special picture. The special picture comes and goes, and the paper sits in my stash, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. You guys are gonna laugh, and probably, I think I talked to Kinari about it. She's the owner of Pink Fresh. One of the first collections I bought, it was a Pink Fresh Studio collection, and I still have it because I bought doubles. So if anybody wants like vintage Pink Fresh Studio, like going in the vault, I pretty much have all the collections and entire collections saved in my apartment, which my husband is not too keen about it, but like I mentioned before, my papers rule, and at some point my kids will go and the room will be all mine. And that's 2 rooms. So you can imagine how much, I'm planning to stash for the rest of my life. And I mean, you know what? I love paper. I've always have, like, since I was little, I've always loved paper. Didn't grow up with that much money, but paper was something that it was always there. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love paper and pens, stationery, because that's what, my mother used to give us to play. It was like notebooks and pens. So, it brings like some nice memories. And then I'm just gonna put the edge there. So you see, just small layers. You don't have to be like, add lots. I'm just gonna add a little bit here to glue it in place. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna keep playing with this, because I think this is one of the, if you journal, and I do a lot, I love the pockets because they're a great way to add journaling. But I love this. I love the tags because they have that extra texture. So I think I want to add some here. Yep. And I'm just eyeballing this. So, I'm just thinking where, yeah, I'm going to add some here, maybe here. Yep. So before I add more, we're going to lay the florals. So here we go. And I pulled the ephemera too, so we have a better idea. So my idea is this. Remember, I said I want to create a wave of florals. And that's why I have all these colors here. So let's move this here. Start placing things. I like this blue here. So remember, I am a fan of tucking things and not gluing everything at the edge. I leave the edges without glue, so I'm able to lift it and tuck things until I know where everything is going to sit. So, okay, let's move it a little bit lower, right there. Now the other one, just because I want to add a little bit here, and no, because there's already blue there. So I'm just going to play with the colors. I like this peach, this one with pink. Here. Okay, so pink is over here. I don't want to get confused. There we go. So we're going to bring a little bit of yellow. Again, I don't want to lose that edge. So I haven't glued anything. I'm just going to set it in place to make sure that it all works. And I want to bulk this part here. So again, this is pink. So I'm going to try to pick up all the colors that I created. So I think I need a little bit of yellow actually here. There we go. So, and then a little bit of purple down here. So let's see, we're going to get with this. So you see how slowly I'm creating my little wave of florals? And I know usually, I think the previous, I would say, like, oh, movement is very important in a layout, just because you want you to guide your eye through the page. So you're gonna see that slowly the way I'm putting my florals, it's just gonna take your eye throughout the entire page. So here, again, so you see how I slowly start here, you look at the photo here, and then to finish, I'll just probably go, it's too much purple, maybe go with this blue right here. See how I have created the little wave of florals? Simple. So we're gonna add, and I'm yelling because I moved, some foam adhesive just to keep everything in place. That's the way it's gonna sit. And there's not much more that you're gonna need like to embellish, because the floors are gonna do quite a bit of the work for you. So let's start by setting the picture in place. So I'm gonna lightly hold this and see how I hold it. That's one of the reasons why you don't put glue all the way to the end. Just kind of tuck it right there. Flip it, foam adhesive. I want to make sure that the picture is like, pops from the page. So foam adhesive behind it. At the same time. And I'm just trying to read. If I'm keeping quiet, it's because I'm trying to read the comments at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of the way. And I hope like the light is working better. I'm been trying, thank God for Heather, who gave me like, some awesome ideas on how to fix the light. Working lives, it is fun. I gotta admit it, it is fun, but I want to make sure that you're able to see the, the project. So I'm gonna bring a ruler just because I want to make sure that my picture is not crooked. I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. I already know how everything is gonna sit. So remember. So, and you're gonna see how the background, it is important. You're gonna see it, but it's not gonna overtake the layout. Here we go. There we go. So make sure that we tuck this properly. I'm probably gonna move this little here. There we go. So everything is there. So foam adhesive behind the florals, you wanna make sure that there's a little bit of a height. So the hearts is just like a soft shadow on the background, and that's all you want. And you don't want to, again, if you want to go ahead, you can create pattern paper with it and use it to die cut your pieces. But for now, we're just gonna go like that. I think my daughter is just getting here from school. So if you see in the background some noise, it's her, she's arriving. So the baby, which is our dog, might go happy and start to, bark because she's here. So again, just securing everything, since you already know how everything is going to go. Okay, so remember, a little bit of yellow here, and just play with your florals. I already have that, so maybe I want to just, and I'm going to cut it. One of the things that I think a lot of people are afraid is cutting. You just have to trust yourself and cut the floral. I'd rather have pieces of florals that I can bulk up my cluster than to not use them. So see, I'm just cut that floral because it was going to be hidden and on the way, and I'm just going to put it right there. So let's see, maybe I flip it a bit. Much better. Much, much better. There we go. So a little bit of foam adhesive. And I'm going to add it in a different way here. I just want to make sure that I create separation between the florals. So right here, it's going to separate from the bottom. Right here, just to add to the dimension. And then I don't want it to lay flat at the end. And so I'm gonna just add a little bit of foam adhesive just to the tip of the floral right here. So it just lifts up the edge at the end and you create that dimension. So you're gonna see simple, nothing complicated. I think we've talked about this before. When you have nice products, you don't need much. You just need simple sometimes is the best way to go. Again, I think I want that purple there. I don't want to cut that because it's a linked floral, but that will work perfect there. And then here, I am going to cut it because you know what? It's I'm just going to move this down here. And I want to add this here. So we're just going to glue this part of the floral, and then we're going to cut the excess. So we're going to put it right there. Lift up your base. See how you have that wave? I'm sure you are going, oh, and I want to see if you create a project based on this, make sure you tag me and tag Green Fresh Studio. I would love to see what you create. Who's going? Bye, Teresa. I don't know who that is. But bye. So sad you had to leave us. And then you have the extra florals. And I think we talked about this before. If you have like, pieces of florals, don't throw them away. Keep them. You can always bulk up your cluster. I'm going to show you right here. I have this piece. There you go. Just because it's going to help you, right there. See, or you can move it down here. So don't throw them away unless you have just like a quarter of it. Then you can always use more, like flowers especially are a great way to add, to bulk up your cluster. So I'm just going to tuck it in there because I think it needs a little bit more just to help with the movement. Add a little bit of foam adhesive behind it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I hope you try it. And there we go. So now we have to just add titles, a few embellishments, and we're pretty much done. So one of the things that I pulled today was the frames, and I was thinking about using them, but I think the florals are much, much nicer. So we are going to, there's something here that I really enjoy, and I said here, remember this day. This is from the Journaling Ephemera, and I think it's perfect right here. Actually gonna kind of right there. See, you still see the background, not much, and that's not, I'm not gonna add much more than that to this side because I don't want to cover it. Again, foam adhesive. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks for the layout, Denise. Oh, thanks for the tip. You're welcome. I mean, I don't think these are tips. I just think it's, I think we all can have beautiful pages and just, a few ideas. Think of it as ideas. They're not tips, they're ideas. So that's pretty much all I'm going to use down here. I like this. Love makes everything grow. I put it right here. And I have this little leaf just because I want to add a little bit of green on the background right there. Okay, and that's all we're going to get from here. And then from my title, and this is the part that I always struggle with, but I see this on the Grown with Love, and I was thinking my title will be nice right here. So my prop it there. I think it's the best way here. So yeah, so I'm gonna, just because I want to make sure that it pops like from the page, I'm gonna add foam adhesive behind it, and then I'm gonna add a second layer of foam adhesive just so that it pops from the photos. So here, again, and there you go. You can see 2 layers of foam adhesive, and we're gonna put it right here. And by having that dimension, it's just making it stand out, even though you have the flowers on the background. And I think that's pretty much what the bulk of the layout is gonna be. Now you can see where can I add more things. So let's consider where can I, maybe another flower down here. No, I don't wanna, move away, Natalie, know when to cut, know when to, stop. So I'll probably add my lines of journal down here. And then what do we need to finish a layout? Bling. So we are gonna use the jewels. Am I saying it properly? These are the jewels. I hope so. I always get them confused with the crystals. And again, you see, I have a soft rainbow in the background. I'm still going with a rainbow. The black and white picture is just gonna bring some of make it neutral. Everything is popping out. Nothing is hidden. So I'm gonna start by, and I bought some extras because they're the ones I use the most. So let's just give it some hints of color. So let me just reach for my glue. And let's see, I have some purple here. So I'm gonna just emphasize the purple over here. I think this is purple or blue. Yeah, but it's okay. Just a little bit here. We're gonna follow the rainbow with our little embellishments. I think we're doing good with time, Heather. Yeah, I'm almost finished. So a little bit over here. And I might add some embellishments, but not that many because, like I said, less is more, especially when you have this much, going on already with the with the flowers. You don't want to overdo it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of pink over here just because I have them in that area. And again, another thing that you should have in your arsenal, whether your scrapbook, your card make, or any type of project, is all the jewel mix and all the petal, what is it called? The pearls, the gold pearls and the silver pearls. Oh, I love those. And I had to like not pull them out because I used them in the last live and I was like, I need to show you something else. So we're gonna bring a little bit of the light pink down here just because I have this over here. And I'm just going with 2s. You can use 3s. I might use 3 down here because I have that extra area. And let's see. Do they have, they don't come with names in the bottle, in the little bottles, do they, Heather? No, you can buy them separately. I just pulled the entire set. Sorry if I should have, like, I should have asked that before. I didn't know they come with names. I'm gonna have to go make a list now with the names and put them in like a little sticker at the top. So I know. So what color we have here? Yellow. So we're gonna bring a little bit of yellow on this side here. I'm gonna add some strings, so I'll probably add a bow there, so I don't want to overtake that. So I'm gonna add the yellow down here, just because I have quite a bit of yellow there and I don't have that much here. So we're gonna add a little bit of yellow down in this area. And I hope you have enjoyed this. I know that my time is almost up, so I'm just gonna try to finish as much as I can live, and then maybe just minimal details or little extra embellishments that might go on outside of the camera, but the bulk of the layout, well, not the stenciling, I did that outside of the camera, just because it does take some time. But again, like I said, if you create projects based on this or you use it, remember to tag the shop. There's always a challenge at the beginning or the end of the month. Make sure you follow it because there's a chance of winning gift certificates to the shop. And what color we don't have? I'll make a little bit of the blue up here. Another color that I need to get more because again, one of the ones that you use the most. So slide it in place. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think we are done. Let me just move this out of the area. And again, lines of journal down here. I'm gonna add a bow. I might add a few fresh stickers, but the bulk of the layout is done. So as always, remember, if you comment, there is a $15 gift certificate that will be given, that Printfresh Studio will give away. If you have any questions, I am about to flip the camera so that I'm able to see your faces, or you're able to see mine. Let me lose my ponytail so you don't, And remember, check the shop for the new release. We have used quite a bit of it in this layout, and beautiful. A rainbow without being a rainbow on a page, and I customize the florals, and you can do that. Again, so much that you can do. So I'm gonna flip the camera. I'm gonna give you one last look of the layout before I flip the camera and I can see you, and Heather can find a winner, and we can chat a little bit before we say our goodbyes. So let's see. Hi guys, I see you again. So I'm sure that Heather is picking a winner right now. As always, thank you so much for joining me. If you create anything with these ideas, like I said, tag the shop, tag me. I would love to see what you create. If you're inspired by the page, I love seeing, like, stamps and dies being used in scrapbooking pages. Like I said, there's so much you can do. And we have a winner, Joanne McClinton. Congratulations. Make sure you email Leah at Printfresh Studio. Give her a few days. She responds, but it takes a few days for her to respond. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, like I said, if you want to see something in particular, leave me a comment. The next time we meet, I think it's in 2 weeks, you'll see something nice, something different, something nice, something new. So be prepared. Can I say it, Heather, next week? To see something beautiful coming to Printfresh Studio. I don't have it handy, I'll give you a peek, but it's beautiful. And you're gonna wanna have it all. So As always, thank you so much for joining me. Have, you know, go check the shop because you're gonna love the new stuff. Um, again, thank you so much. Thank you, Heather, for being, the help in the background. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed weekend. And I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.